Well, let's see. I think I have a character concept. That's usually where I go to. Then once I get my concept, then it's easier to plug in whatever system, whatever attributes I have for that game. So, Dan, do you have an idea what type of character you're going to make?
I was thinking of trying to make a bridge bunny, as they were so called in Robotech.
From the terrible trio.
The
Yeah.
Terrible Trio, yes.
Yeah.
Cool. I was thinking of making not necessarily a pop star, but a musician, a civilian, a protege that grew up, was forced to play piano or a violin by his parents, but doesn't like it, and maybe now has some freedom now that he's maybe stuck on the FDS one.
We are playing on the human side. And
Mm,
Okay.
so you would either have to choose a human, a Zentradi who has defected and is still giant sized, or a human or a Zentradi who's defected and has been micronized.
recognize, yeah.
Yeah, shrunk into
Oh, I
human.
kind of want to be a giant Zentradi with a huge piano, but I don't think music was their forte just yet.
Uh,
So
Literally,
I'll be
I
human.
mean,
Yeah,
no,
I'm going to be a human.
All right, there we go.
I'm making
easy
it
enough. Okay.
easy enough.
Then you have to choose your career, which starts
Okay.
on page 18.
18. Okay, yeah.
Hope
Well,
that's the next page.
yeah. So for you, Dan, you might be an officer,
Yeah, I
huh?
believe mine's an officer, so I just get to pick an officer. Oh, look, your entertainer's on that same page.
Yeah, I'll be an entertainer. That makes sense. I
And
do
you'll
like
make
that
sure,
there's a chance, like you could pick a volunteer as
yeah,
a
Yeah.
that's really cool. I like that. Like
it's sort of like a do anything kind of class.
a classless type character, which is really neat. Yeah, but entertainer, cool.
So then that automatically gives us a rank that we're starting at, right?
Yes. You start with a rank and a level of fame.
Do you get a fame as well as a rank when like an officer? I don't see fame listed underneath an officer.
There is a round out your character step 10. It might not literally
Hmm.
be step 10, but yeah, there's a round out your character where you can buy it. And then the next is record your equipment. There's a little bit of equipment listed.
In my equipment as an entertainer, I could have an assistant or a bodyguard. That
I think you actually get both. Does it say and
oh,
or?
and it does. Yes,
Yeah.
you're right. Can my now? I guess I have to ask the GM permission. Can my bodyguard be some sort of very poor AI mech type something? Because I remember there being AI juice
Yeah,
box things like that. Yeah, could I
sure.
have like something like that?
Sure.
Cool.
It doesn't mechanically really change anything, right?
Okay, but that's cool though. I'm just curious. Like, yeah, like okay, that's allowed. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, if you were like a mechanic, you could have built it or
Okay, well, yeah, it can be a moving changing room. That will be my assistant and bodyguard. We'll combine them together.
don't
I step inside my bodyguard to get changed into my performance attire.
In the equipment, it says like I have one armor. Does that like I just have one armor and it's any kind of suit?
anything your rank allows you to have. So if you're an officer, you could probably have whatever armor you want.
So also
But
says we get to choose our
equipment's
talents as
supposed to
well.
be requisitioned, right? So if you're on the bridge, you're probably just in light armor, right?
Mhm.
Basically like a suit, because you're not out doing anything heavy. If you were to go on a away team or something, you would have access to the heavier armor.
Yeah, I have the list of equipment, and then I see something called elements.
Yes. So element it's a driver for your career. So every career, well, except entertainer, but all the careers generally have three elements that you can choose from. Yeah.
I'm going to be a coordinator
There you go.
because I like tactile advantages.
So element's really, really good because what element does is, and you can pick up more along the way through talents. You can buy them, but they let you get bonus dice because basically the way the bonus dice works in this game is you have to be working as a team. Number one, number two, you have to do something creative, and number three, it has to be within your element. And so the more you're within your element, the more resistance you have to take penalties, and that's of course GM fed. But yeah.
Okay, and then we got career talent.
Yeah,
Mhm.
talent.
Yes.
Oh,
So within your career, you get two talents. It'll tell you you get your specific career talent from your career,
Hmm.
right? And then you get an additional career talent, right?
Yeah, in a special category. So for me, it's I get the inspire for entertainer, but then I get to choose one social talent later
Any
on.
social talent on the social list.
I'm a socialist. Cool.
I got embolden. Once per encounter, I can help an ally to let them ignore wounds or fatigue from one source.
So what exactly is a talent then?
Talent's like a feat from D&D. It's a special
Oh.
thing. It'll apply. Some are passive, some are active.
All right, so I get to pick a social one. Ooh, bureaucrat, copycat, dead inside as social. I'm picking that because that just sounds. I don't even. I'm not even gonna look. I saw dead inside as a social talent. So Jeff, I didn't even look. What is dead inside as a talent? Do you know offhand?
Yeah, so it means if you you do not pick up combat fatigue from allies dying or becoming injured in proximity.
Oh my.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know how they work.
So-
I'm gonna keep that as an entertainer,
So
but
fatigue can build very quickly. I mean, example, if you know your buddy gets hit and goes down, that's a combat fatigue, right? If you
Mhm.
I had a game I ran to Gen Con where an officer was like trapped. It was like Starship Trooper style, trapped in like the door that hit the blast door that come down,
Mhm.
and it was almost like cut in half, and they're still alive. I'm like, you take combat fatigue,
So yeah, the war around me doesn't impede me too much.
right?
I can still play my piano or fiddle or whatever, I guess, instrument.
Yeah. Sociopathic artist here.
Yeah, that's kind of. I'm gonna go down that route. That's kind of creepy, and weird, but let's do it. Dan, how about you?
I am going to choose Mad Thinker. Once per engagement or encounter, you are able to use a skill to enact a plan that is so crazy it just might work.
Hey, nice.
When attempting the plan, do not take penalties to do difficulty.
That's so crazy. Cool.
Yeah, in this game, some of the talents are a little less mechanical and more open to interpretation. Those two are definitely kind of in that gray area, but that's kind of gives you an idea of how the game's supposed to be played, you know. All right, and okay, so on to your skills. You get to choose 6 skills, page 62.
Yeah, we talked about that. I really like the benefit and cost of the skills. That gives a really good idea of. I mean, like I can fix it as a skill. Like, okay, well, you get to fix something. What does it cost? It's going to take time,
Right.
and it gives you the GM idea of like, yeah, what happens if you succeed? What happens if you fail? I really like
Right. So one example, the way this really opens up fictional positioning is that, for example, let's say you're a mechanic and you're trying to fix a Veritech, and there's only so much time. You don't have enough time to fix it completely. So you can try to fix a little bit of everything. Right? You could try to fix one thing really, really well and not fix other things. And those are all different skills that you can take advantage of in the book. For example, rapid fire. I'm fixing a little bit of everything. Hopefully, and based on how well you roll, if the pilot's in combat and they take a hit, maybe something else breaks. Versus I'm going to fix something really, really well, but something else may not be working when that Veritech goes out.
So I have a question. Like, so my character's more entertainer. Could I use something like Ironclad Strategy, which isn't? I mean, it says here, with your experience and talent, you are able to craft plans that never fail. Your allies know your abilities and put trust in you. Is that something I could use outside of, say, combat?
Well, right, sure. So there's 3. So every skill, I'm not on that page right now because I'm looking at the other one, but every skill has examples of how to use it in a social, in a physical, and a technical aspect.
Yeah, I really, really like that. Yeah, you can use it almost for anything. If the player comes up with this idea and they say, "Can I use this skill?" I'm like, yeah, you know what? That makes sense. That's a really cool approach. Let's try that out. I love that. That's fantastic.
I'm really looking forward to see how people interact with that in the game, because I'm pretty sure they can come up with a lot of crazy ideas that I won't think of as a GM, that they'll be just like, I'm going to use this ability to do this. And I'm like, that's crazy. You gave a good argument. I'll let you try it.
But here's the thing, right? What you just said, it's not just about pass fail, right? It's what they've done within the fictional positioning, right? Within the fiction. And depending on what their role is, and depending on what they're trying to do, and depending on what goes on in the environment, right? You can then create more story from that.
All right, I think I got my skills. How about you, Dan?
Yeah, I wrote down my skills. I didn't write down all the information because it's going to take too long, but Rally Cry, Ironclad Strategy Plan, Ambush Tactics, Precise Targeting, Survival Expert, and Wing and a Prayer.
You got to take Wing and a Prayer. I mean, luck is a skill.
Yeah.
I love that. I saw that as luck as a skill. I was like, yes, that's great.
So the reason Wing and a Prayer exists is because in my formatting, I had blank space. And I had just enough blank space for one more, I'm not kidding, one more skill. And I went out to my community and I said, I need one more skill for my book. And it has to be a letter between S and Z. Because that's where it would fit in the formatting. Seriously, I mean, it's
great.
It's it's how to make a good book, right? So so I had a couple came in, and then Wing and a Prayer, and it was like, okay, well, we don't have anything for luck, and luck is sort of like it's not replicated elsewhere, right? Everything else is going to have some overlap, but that one had the least amount of overlap, so that's one we went with.
Okay, so then what do we move on to next here?
Yeah, nature. So you have a disposition and a demeanor. And a disposition is sort of how the world sees you, and a demeanor is, I believe I'm getting this right. The demeanor is sort of how you act, right? So you could be really caring, but be sort of callous, right? Seem callous. Now they have checkboxes. So if you are acting within your nature, either disposition or demeanor, and you don't like your role, you can make a reroll, assuming you've been acting in your disposition and within your nature.
Disposition, this is how you think and feel about things.
Yeah, and there's a list, but you're also encouraged to make yours up. So this really actually helps role playing because it encourages you to, if you ever want the reroll, you don't have to role play your nature, but if you do role play your nature, you then get to reroll occasionally.
I'll take analytical and calm. Disposition, demeanor will be calm. Oh, yeah, because I'm dead on the inside, I guess. I just portray it as I am one with myself. I nothing can really shake me because I'm already dead. Natures are done. How's your character, Dan? How coming up?
Well, my disposition is analyst, and my demeanor is reckless. So I may have to. People think I'm analyzing things, but I'm really just making a lot of choices and being reckless about things.
Oh yeah, do we get skill points?
Yes. Okay, so there are 3 options. The suggested option, or 4 options, is an array. You choose an array, either specialized, focused, or versatile. I've learned this works really well in my Age Pass game. I've stuck with it for several games. And basically, you choose the amount of points you get.
Player can choose if they want to be specialized, focused, or versatile, right? It's not the GM says we're using the specialized version, or is it?
So if you're going to do one of the arrays, you're just building with one of the arrays. Yeah, you choose the one you want. The GM doesn't set that. However, the GM can say we're going to build freeform, just build with 15 points. No skill can exceed 4. You can do variable rolling or hardcore rolling. Yeah.
And so, what does a 4 mean? Do I roll 4d6?
Yep, that's literally every point is a die.
And successes are 4, 5, and 6. Is that correct?
Standard successes are 5, and 6s are counts double.
Nice.
So what happens is we want everyone rolling in a phase, rolling at once. So if everyone support, for example, let's say there's 3 people taking actions in support, they're all supposed to roll at once, and the GM is supposed to kind of suss out what happens based on the actual skills being used and the fictional positioning. Standard rolling is a 5 is 1 success and a 6 is 2. However, if you get a bump up, if you get an edge, 4s count successes, and then if you get an advantage, 5s count as 2 successes. So you never change the number of dice you roll, you just change the value proposition of the dice. Same thing, if you take a hindrance or you take a disadvantage, it goes the other way. 5s don't count successes, and then at the very lowest, 6s only counts 1 success, and that's it.
Cool.
Okay, so I got my skill numbers.
Got all that. We're getting close to being done, aren't we?
All right, you already did your nature because we skipped that.
We skipped ahead, yeah. We got nature.
All right, so you get one more talent. You can pick any talent you want.
All right, I picked that. Oh, like a third one?
Yep, the third one, yeah.
Oh, because this is kind of like rounding out your character in a way, a little bit.
Well, you haven't gotten quite to enhance your character.
Okay, so the talent could be from any of the.
Yeah, any talent you want at all. Right. Yeah.
I will take exploding tech. I just saw that and I think that's cool. So I'll take a talent called exploding tech. So basically, so it says here. So I rigged up a backup power source to my floor's gravity plate. Stand back. It's going to be messy. You know how to combine systems in violent ways.
What is your character becoming?
I don't know. I just saw it and I like it.
He just doesn't care about people.
Matt Bomber. He's gonna be one of those terrorists. And oh no, I like this one more. Pack rat. That makes more sense. I always have all my equipment I need. So we got our other talent, health. How does that work?
If you're micronized, you just have your three wounds, 2 brawl, 1 critical. You don't have to write anything on your chart, or you can X out the other. You can X out the other wounds if you want.
So how do you die in this game? Like with this?
The GM just decides if you die based on how much damage you've taken. If you take 2 brawl wounds so basically you have 3 wounds. It's 2 brawl and 1 critical. If you've taken 2 brawl wounds and you just have your 1 critical left, you're hindered. You're like hurt pretty bad.
I see.
Yeah, and it takes special medical attention to get your critical wound back. First aid just won't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you go to 0 wounds, you're unconscious or dead, depending on what killed you, what hit you.
Sure. Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're like in a ballroom brawl, you're just gonna get knocked out.
Yeah. Exactly.
So we're basically starting at level 1. When you start your character, do they start with any stress or drama?
No. The GM could prescribe that everyone has to have a drama to start.
Okay.
There is a rule saying that all the characters have to know each other somehow. They don't have to like each other, be friends, but they have to be aware of each other.
Sure. Yeah, especially if you're not all pilots or not all musicians or something like that. Yeah, that makes sense. Got to get you guys together quickly somehow. So we record our burnout. Everyone starts with 5.
Everyone starts with 5 burnout. Yep. And then
there's 30 meters. And enhance your character. This is the other.
Yes. So enhance your character. This is your round out procedure. You get 5 points, and then you can spend those 5 points into the list below. You can get a talent for 4 points, a new skill for 3 points, a brawl wound for 3 points.
Okay.
A rank increase for 2 points, a fame increase for 2 points. That's how you get some fame.
Okay.
Skill increase for 2 points.
So Dan, are you gonna take some fame? So you're a famous bridge technician?
Ooh,
or operator, like you're just really good at getting those Vertex out quickly.
I kind of feel like I want to take some fame and see if maybe I was your old coordinator for your shows, but then got pulled away and got hired, and then that's why
you're my entertainment coordinator. Okay, see now we already tied in how we know each other. Perfect.
So I will give myself a point of fame because that's what I helped you.
Sure. I'm curious. Can you take one? Like, so could I take 2 fame right here?
Yeah, if you wanted to.
Yeah, then I get 1 more point. Now, cool.
So it's important to note that at this stage, enhance your character. If you're the volunteer, you only get 3 points to round out.
Yeah.
Not 5.
Yeah. So I'll increase my fame twice, so it costs 2 points each, and then I'll take personal equipment. I'll have a gold-plated microphone, and that's it, right? That didn't take us 3 hours to make, did it?
Yeah, I like how fast it is, especially when you know the system. You know, it's simple enough to go, and it seems easy enough to pick up for anyone that's just starting, or for the GM to explain to someone. Seems pretty simple for someone to pick up and jump into it.
Yeah,
that was easy. I like it. Yeah, that really opened my eyes, and that I really like this idea of the skills how you have them laid out is really, really nice. I like that a lot.
So, if anyone's interested in the book or getting in contact with you, where can they get in contact with you?
Yeah, so I'm almost always on Discord, and we have a bunch of really great people on Discord who, if I'm not there immediately to answer, they can. And my email is jeff@strangemachinegames.com.
All right. Well, we appreciate you coming on and talking about the rule system and going through making a character with us. Now Lee has 2 characters. He's going to, maybe if one dies, he'll just jump into the other one.
All right. Thanks so much.